Let's play a game of who's lying, yesterday's Trudeau or the day before's Trudeau. Foreign interference is the name of the game, and we're having a whole inquiry about this. Now, there was a leak about a year ago about 11 MPs that have been compromised. In fact, China apparently or allegedly wanted to have a minority Trudeau government, and well, it looks like that's exactly what they got. Now, in Canada, we're not allowed to know this, even though the government knows the information about this. This is from CBC News, and government won't commit to releasing the names of MPs who allegedly conspired with foreign actors. Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland says Liberals will conduct an internal follow-up on meddling claims. Of course, they're going to be the ones to look at it, and they're going to be the ones to deem that nothing's happening. Well, that narrative wasn't working out for Justin Trudeau, so he made this claim at the inquiry into foreign interference.
I have the names of a number of parliamentarians, former parliamentarians and/or candidates in the Conservative Party of Canada who are engaged or at high risk of, or for whom there is clear intelligence around foreign interference. And I have directed CSIS and others to try and inform the Conservative Party leader to be warned and armed to be able to make decisions that protect the integrity of that party, of its members, from attempts at activities around foreign interference.
Right. What are the attempts in this case? Now, of course, we're going to get to this whole video, but here's his attempts of giving this away.
That I have never gotten any information from any of our security agencies or police officers or intelligence officials or public servants on any information on anyone receiving, as a federal candidate, receiving money from China, as the allegations highlighted.
Oh, okay. So a totally different story now. What just happened? Okay, of course, we'll get into Pierre Poilievre's release where he says release the names. And of course, keeping on going with the graphics and all of that. Release the names. Yes, this is what's going on. But here's the crux of the situation. Trudeau is actually trying to get Pierre Poilievre into a trap. And, well, this is the trap that he's set. And Bruce McGonigal here has pointed it out perfectly in this one tweet. He says, the only reason why we don't know who the treasonous actors in our government are is because Justin Trudeau is blocking the release of those names, using a lifelong gag order required to get the NSICOP clearance. Breaching the lifetime gag order comes with severe penalties, like up to 14 years in jail for releasing these names. Why is this even a thing? Well, it's because Justin Trudeau invented it. Yes, he was the one who made the NSICOP clearance to get the information on any of this stuff. And this is why Pierre Poilievre has refused to get it.
I created the National Security and Intelligence Committee of Parliamentarians for a very specific purpose.
Oh, yes, you did.
To make sure the parliamentarians from all different parties would be able to look into everything that our national security agencies are doing.
And then be able to do nothing with that information.
At least two clear goals. One is to make sure that our national security agencies are behaving appropriately and not violating Canadians' fundamental rights or overreaching or doing the bidding of one particular government versus the well interests of Canadians. But the second is to make sure that national security agencies are taking seriously all the threats and acting in appropriate ways to counter the threats.
Oh, yeah, totally acting appropriately. Well, by whose standard is appropriate? Well, this would be Justin Trudeau's standard for what is appropriate behavior here. Now, of course, Pierre Poilievre releasing this statement saying, yeah, release these names. How about just get them out there? If you know about it, why would you be withholding this information unless it's some partisan thing? This is absolutely insane that this would be, the position of the Prime Minister of Canada to withhold this kind of information from the public when the public is dying to know about it. He says, my message to Justin Trudeau is release the names of all the MPs that have collaborated with foreign interference. This is mind-boggling that this is something that he would be holding back, but he won't, because Justin Trudeau is doing what he always does. He's lying. He's lying to distract from the Liberal caucus, revolt against his leadership and his revelations. He knowingly allowed Beijing to interfere and help to win him 2 elections. I was briefed on October 14th of 2024 by Natalie Durin, National Security and Intelligence Advisor to the Prime Minister, David Morrison, Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs at Global Affairs Canada, and Daniel Rogers, Director of CSIS, about the matter of foreign interference from India. The CSIS Act allows the government to offer information to any Canadian about specific risks of foreign interference without forcing them to sworn secrecy or controlling what they say. And this is the whole idea. Trudeau is trying to secure himself amnesty after the fact, after he loses his prime ministerialship, after he loses his position in government, so that nobody can go after what's been going down. I mean, do we forget that it was only a year ago that all of the board members of the Trudeau Foundation resigned in one day? Yeah, I wonder why they would do that. Why, in fact, would they ever do such a thing? But here's the truth. Here's the absolute truth. A majority of all Canadians now disapprove of Justin Trudeau, except hardcore liberals, of course. And even those hardcore liberals, in many cases, are saying, forget it, I'm out. I'm getting out of this place because I don't want to go down with the captain. I mean, it's the captain that's sinking, and he's bringing the ship with him in this case. But this is where we're at. Now, let's go back to this old back and forth in Parliament from 2022, November, almost 2 years ago now. This is how long Canadians have been dying to find out who was interfering with our elections. And this is the obfuscation that we've been having from the Prime Minister all the way from the top, trying to hide the information. But he says now that he has always known, he's known about conservatives. And of course, if there are conservatives that have been involved in interference, let's find out who they are so we can rope them up. Let's get them out of here. I mean, not literally rope them up, but get them out of government. Sorry, your career's over. Yeah, that's it. But here's what he's been saying all the time up until yesterday.
And yes, this is painful. Words to obscure the answer. He says there was not interference in a significant way that would have changed the outcome. Was there any interference of any kind?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, as our intelligence services have highlighted many times in many different forums for Canadians, interference in Canadians' affairs by foreign powers is an ongoing thing, whether it's cyber interference, whether it's interference with communities here in Canada, whether it's attempts to influence the media. These are things that go on an ongoing basis, and things that our intelligence agencies and police agencies work very, very hard to counter. But Canadians can be reassured that the integrity of our elections was not compromised.
Yeah, now, see, this is why question period is so infuriating for most Canadians to watch. It's because it is just that. It's question period. If it was anything else, they would call it answer period, because you'll never get an answer to any questions. And this is the painstaking process that Pierre Poilievre was going through in this to try to get to the bottom of interference in our elections.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
He still won't answer the question. The question was specifically about whether intelligence, law enforcement, or public servants briefed him or in any way informed him of any interference in any of our elections.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, back in 2019, we established a professional, a nonpartisan, independent group of top civil servants and intelligence officials to ensure that the integrity of our elections would not be compromised. They watched and reported in the 2019 election, they watched and reported for the 2021 election, and in both cases confirmed that the integrity of our elections was not compromised.
Wow.
Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
The question was not whether the election was compromised.
We know that it was.
The question was whether officials in intelligence, law enforcement, or the public service at any time informed the Prime Minister of allegations of any interference in our elections. Yes or no?
Now today, he's making the claim that there's a specifically the Conservatives, right?
The member opposite brought in the element of allegations of interference. I can confirm, based on the news reports that a number of people have been remarking on for the past number of weeks, that I have never gotten any information from any of our security agencies or police officers or intelligence officials or public servants on any information on anyone receiving, as a federal candidate, receiving money from China, as the allegations highlighted.
Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
The question wasn't whether or not he heard allegations of money going to a candidate from China. Obviously, money doesn't travel on a big ship from the other side of the Pacific and then go to the shore and then be delivered to a candidate. That is obviously a denial of an absurdity. The question is whether or not the Prime Minister ever got information from the public service, the police, or intelligence bodies on any interference of any kind by Beijing in our elections.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I got a report back from our panel that was established, the experts established in the national security agencies, to report back on whether or not our elections were subject to foreign interference, and they confirmed that the elections were held in full integrity. The outcome was not impacted. That Canadians can have full confidence in the integrity of our elections in 2019 and 2021.
So what has changed over the course of this time? Justin Trudeau going from saying that no, there's not been any case. He's not been briefed on any of this stuff. And now he's saying, oh, no, I've known all along that in fact, there's been interference, and that interference is only in the Conservative Party, or at least I'll only divulge on that. Whereas reports previously had said that, yes, there may be in the Conservative Party, but it's a majority in the Liberal Party. And they named 11 of the MPs in our 338 have been compromised, and Justin Trudeau is now playing partisan games with the inquiry, the what is supposed to be a legitimate inquiry into foreign interference in our country, which of course is headed by a handpicked judge, a friend of a friend of a friend, of course, as always. The last judge resigned in shame, I guess, after it was pointed out that there were ski buddies, old friends, old family friends, and the judge happened to be a member of the Trudeau Foundation, a board member of the Trudeau Foundation. But here we go. Are we ever going to come to the truth on this? And is the story going to keep changing? Why does the story keep changing? Which Trudeau do we trust? Do we trust the Trudeau of yesterday, or do we trust the Trudeau of yesteryear when he was claiming completely different things? Is what he's saying just completely fabricated? I don't know. Leave this up to you. Leave a question, leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think And of course, we'll see you all in the next one. Keep on trucking.